What if the next global pandemic is already here, lurking in the shadows, or should we say, in plain sight? Let's talk about a threat that's both unseen and largely unheard of by many, the bird flu. Known in scientific circles as avian influenza or H5N1, it's a virus that naturally spreads among wild aquatic birds. But it doesn't stop there. It's capable of infecting domestic poultry, other animals, and even humans. The bird flu is a master of disguise, often lying dormant in hosts without causing visible signs of illness. But don't be fooled by its silent demeanor. Certain strains, such as H5, H7, and H9, are known to infect humans and have the potential to cause severe illness or even death. Now, imagine this. The bird flu, a highly fatal form of avian influenza, has been confirmed in cattle in the United States. Yes, you heard that right. Cattle, the same animals that provide people with dairy products and meat, are now carriers of this deadly virus. Think about the implications. If this virus mutates and becomes as contagious as the Spanish flu of 1918, we could be on the brink of a global catastrophe. The Spanish flu infected 1/3 of the world's population, causing tens of millions of deaths or 20% of all humans alive at that time. In today's numbers, we would be looking at approximately 1.3 billion lives lost. If the bird flu follows a similar trajectory, the consequences could be unimaginable. The bird flu is not just a threat to our health, but also to our way of life. It will disrupt our food supply, damage our economy, and even alter the course of history. A silent predator, the bird flu is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode, and now the fuse has been lit. We must act now before it's too late. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. Join me as we dig deeper into this unseen threat and explore what can be done to prevent the next global pandemic. Let me know if you'd like me to make a video about being prepared for something like this. Before we prepare for the future, we must first understand our past. Just over a century ago, the world was held in the iron grip of a deadly influenza pandemic. Known as the Spanish flu, this virus swept across the globe, leaving devastation in its wake. In the span of just 2 years, from 1918 to 1920, it claimed the lives of an estimated 50 million people. That's more than the total number of casualties in the First World War. The Spanish flu was not selective. It took the young and the old, the strong and the weak. It crossed borders without a passport, infecting 1/3 of the world's population. Cities became ghost towns as fear of the unseen enemy drove people to isolation. Society as we knew it came to a standstill. Remember what COVID looked like? That was a walk in the park compared to what could happen next. Now, imagine a similar scenario, but with a new adversary, the bird flu. Like the Spanish flu, the bird flu, a form of avian influenza, is highly contagious and deadly. But unlike its predecessor, this virus is not a human influenza virus. It's a bird virus. And it's not just affecting birds, it's now been confirmed in cattle in the United States. What would happen if this virus mutates and becomes as deadly to humans as the Spanish flu was? We're potentially looking at a repeat of the 1918 pandemic, but on a scale magnified by our globally connected world. With international travel and trade, a new pandemic could spread faster and wider than ever before. And yet, despite the lessons from our past, we continue to play Russian roulette with nature. Our diets, our lifestyle choices, our disregard for the environment. All these factors contribute to the emergence of new diseases, like the bird flu. History has a way of repeating itself, and if we're not careful, we could be the next victims. The bird flu isn't static. It's evolving quickly, and it's getting stronger. This isn't a plot from a science fiction thriller. It's the chilling reality we're facing today. Although this subject is scary, we should all be doing what we can to spread awareness. Our story begins decades ago, when a strain of avian influenza, or bird flu, was first identified. Initially, these viruses were primarily a problem for birds, rarely making the leap to infect humans. But over the years, this has changed drastically. Like an insidious predator, the bird flu has been evolving, sharpening its claws in the shadows. It's been learning, adapting, and getting better at what it does. And what it does isn't pretty. The bird flu variants we see today are leaps and bounds ahead of their predecessors. Strains like H5, H7, and H9 have shown an increased ability to infect humans, causing severe and often fatal illnesses. Each new variant is like a fresh roll of the dice, a new chance for this deadly disease to hit the jackpot and trigger a pandemic. And with each roll, the odds are getting worse. Just think about it. In the past, an outbreak of bird flu was a local problem, confined to a single farm or a single community. But today, in our interconnected world, a single outbreak has the potential to spread like wildfire, crossing borders and oceans in the blink of an eye. Think about how many people are traveling all across the globe on a daily basis. And let's not forget about the Spanish flu of 1918, a grim reminder of the devastating power of influenza viruses. This pandemic, which was caused by an H1N1 virus with genes of avian origin, claimed the lives of tens of millions of people around the globe. We're not just dealing with a disease, we're dealing with an evolving predator, microscopic and deadly. A predator that's getting stronger, smarter, and more dangerous with every passing day. Remember, evolution doesn't sleep. It doesn't take breaks. It's a relentless, ongoing process, and right now it's working in favor of the bird flu. Every time it's passed to a new host, it has the potential to mutate and become stronger. As the bird flu evolves, so does its potential to wreak havoc on our world. Our quest for cheap meat and industrial farm consolidation has created the perfect breeding ground for the bird flu. The industrial animal agriculture industry is the unspoken accomplice in the spread of zoonotic diseases like bird flu. Picture this: thousands of animals all packed together in confined spaces. The conditions are far from hygienic, stress levels are high, and the animals' immune systems are compromised. They're fed high doses of antibiotics constantly. It's a ticking time bomb. A cocktail of conditions that are ripe for disease to thrive and mutate. These factory farms are not just breeding animals, they're breeding superbugs. When a single sick animal can infect hundreds, even thousands in a matter of hours, we're not dealing with a small-scale issue. This is a global threat, a Pandora's box we've opened in our insatiable quest for more, faster, cheaper. Overcrowding isn't the only issue. Like I said previously, the rampant use of antibiotics in these farms is another key player. These drugs are often used to compensate for the poor living conditions and to promote faster growth. But what we're inadvertently doing is encouraging these viruses to become stronger, more resistant. We're pushing them to evolve, to survive. And in the process, we're creating a new breed of disease that our current medicines may not be able to tackle. This isn't a problem for the distant future. It's happening right now under our noses. We've seen the impacts with the H5, H7, and H9 strains of the bird flu. Each new strain is a roll of the dice, a gamble with potentially catastrophic consequences. The truth is, we're not just farming animals here, we're farming pandemics. And and the cost of this industrialized agriculture may be far greater than we can bear. The price isn't just paid in dollars and cents. It's paid in lives, in the health of our planet, and in the stability of our future. In the pursuit of profit, we have unknowingly armed the enemy. The clock is ticking, but it's not too late to change our course. The path to prevention is not as daunting as it may seem. It begins with understanding the power of our choices, particularly our dietary choices. Imagine a world where the demand for animal products is significantly reduced. This could potentially halt the machine of industrial animal agriculture, the very breeding ground for diseases like bird flu. But how can we achieve this? By embracing a vegan or plant-based lifestyle. Now, some may argue that such a lifestyle change is too extreme, but let's take a moment to weigh the scales. On one hand, we have the convenience of our current eating habits, and on the other, the looming threat of a global pandemic. When we put it in perspective, is it really too much to ask? Apart from its potential in preventing future pandemics, a vegan or plant-based diet offers a plethora of health benefits. It has been linked to lower risks of heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. It's a lifestyle that promotes health, longevity, and a sustainable future. Reducing our demand for animal products can also help mitigate climate change. It's no secret that industrial animal farming is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. By choosing plant-based foods, we can significantly reduce our carbon footprint, contributing to a healthier planet. But remember, it's not just about us. It's about the generations to come. It's about ensuring that our children and our children's children inherit a world free from the constant threat of pandemics. This is not to say that everyone should become vegan overnight. It's about making conscious, informed choices. It's about understanding the impact of our actions and making changes, however small, in the right direction. Our choices today will determine our fate tomorrow. The path to prevention lies in our hands. It's time to make a change. Because the clock is ticking, and time, as we all know, waits for no one. We stand on the edge of a potential disaster. The question is, what will we do? It's time to take a serious look at our food choices and the profound impact they have on our health, our environment, and our future. Adopting a vegan or plant-based diet isn't just about personal health or animal welfare anymore. It's about survival. It's about the survival of our species and the survival of our planet. Consider this. Every time we choose a plant-based meal over meat, we're making a stand against the industrial animal agriculture machine. We're saying no to the breeding ground of disease. We're negating the need for antibiotics that spur resistant superbugs. We're reducing our carbon footprint, and we're lessening the strain on our planet's resources. The bird flu, like many other diseases before it, is a stark reminder of the consequences of our actions. It's a chilling echo of the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. We've seen the devastation such a disease can cause. We've seen how it can bring the world to its knees. And we know that such a pandemic in our modern, interconnected world would be catastrophic. But it doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to change. We have the power to choose a different path. We can choose to live in harmony with our environment, to respect the lives of other creatures, and to protect our health and the health of our planet. We can choose to make our meals a declaration of our values and our commitment to a sustainable future. This isn't about fear. It's about responsibility. It's about recognizing the role we each play in the grand scheme of things. and the influence we wield with every choice we make. It's about taking a stand, making a change, and leading the way towards a safer, healthier, and more sustainable world. We can't afford to wait for the next pandemic to strike. We can't afford to ignore the warnings any longer. We need to act now. We need to make the choice that is not only right for us, but also right for the generations to come. The choice is yours. Choose wisely, for the future of our world depends on it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and share. Stay educated and stay safe.